Welcome back to Class My Future Exodites. Today we'll be covering a mech that holds much fame and notoriety. A mech designed to change how mechs of future generations would be designed. The 75-ton, heavy-class battle mech, the Marauder. First walking off the assembly lines of General Motors in the year 2612, the Marauder was initially designed to fill a role of an attack and direct fire support mech. The Marauder would become one of the most well-known mechs in existence. Originally, the Marauder was meant to usher in a new generation of battle mechs. This would unfortunately not happen with the fall of the Star League. Even then, by its own design, the Marauder would be a devastatingly powerful mech, only being outclassed by larger mechs such as the Stalker and the Battlemaster. During the years of the Star League, the Marauder would be a favorite of many pilots in the Gunslinger program, thanks to its tremendous firepower. It would also see use by many regimental and battalion commanders due to its advanced electronics suite. On the hellish battlefields of the Succession Wars, mass formations of Marauders would prove to be a devastating force as shock units. These were used to break through the lines of enemies, though their rarity would mean the Marauder would be paired with other mechs that fulfilled a similar role, such as the Warhammer and the Thunderbolt. The variant we'll be taking a look at today will be the Marauder 3R. As a direct fire support mech, the Marauder would carry an arsenal of long to medium range weapons. Starting with its long range weapon systems, the Marauder would carry two PPCs split between both of its arms. These PPCs would be housed within armored gauntlets in the same way as the Warhammer. This would differ, however, as the arm's versatile ball and socket joints would allow for faster traversal and a much superior field of fire. Compact enough to fit in the arm assembly, the PPCs would also be durable enough to withstand hand-to-hand combat. To complement the PPCs, the Marauder would be equipped with an autocannon 5 mounted within the right torso, with a ton of ammo being fed to it from the left torso. This autocannon would fire in a 3-round burst of 120mm shells. Added as an afterthought, its connection would be exposed, causing a successful hit to disable the weapon systems entirely. When the fighting got close, the Marauder would have two medium lasers split between both arms to defend itself. This would prove an adequate defense against other mechs. Carrying 11.5 tons of armor, the Marauder's build would aid in its defense. With its narrow silhouette, the Marauder was a harder to hit target than many of its peers in the heavyweight class. The Marauder would have 16 heat sinks, which allowed competent Mechwarriors to manage their heat well within this mech. Powered by a VLAR 300 engine, the Marauder was able to reach and maintain a top speed of 64 km per hour. Though as potent as the Marauder was, it was not without flaws, including the weak weapon linkage of the AC-5. The rotation rings that connected the chassis with the leg assembly was a rather similar weak point in the design. Many pilots of the Marauder would go on to mount improvised armor plating around these points to attempt to protect the rotation rings. With the rediscovery of lost tech from the Helm Memory Core, the Marauder was an obvious choice to receive new upgrades. House Davion would be among the first to field an updated variant of the design. This would backfire, however, as House Corrida would capture the planet Quentin in the War of 3039. Quentin being the planet that housed the Marauder factories that House Davion used to produce this new model. With the Draconis Combine in possession of this first new variant, the Federated Commonwealth would go on to produce a second new variant using a different configuration entirely. Other Lost Tech upgraded variants of the Marauder would be deployed just in time for the clan invasion. A second revitalization of the Marauder would occur by the hands of the Capellan Confederation. Though they had never before built the mech themselves, through the actions of Chancellor Sun Tzu Liao, a deal would be negotiated on behalf of Ceres Metals Industries. This would be to get the rights of the design from General Motors in exchange for allowing Hildco Interplanetary to resume exporting its own products to the Federated Suns. While a success, disturbing reports from the periphery would state that a number of the smaller realms would be seen fielding new Marauders of their own, with origins expected to be of a sinister nature. And with that, we have ran out of time for this lecture. I hope you enjoyed learning more about the Marauder with me today. As always, I really appreciate the time you spend out of your day to watch these videos. If there's any mechs you want me to cover sooner than later, let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing. This shows me that you guys like this content and would like to see more of it in the future. And, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.